Well, we're talking about Twitter now, and many times this year you've heard us do stories about how Twitter as a business has been struggling. And now it is actually considering making some changes, and one of the changes would be letting users edit their tweets. So you tweet something out, and you can edit that tweet, which you cannot do right now. You'd have to delete it. Marketing expert Shama Hyder joins us now. I don't know if this, Shama, is the big solution to what ails Twitter, but what do you think?
It's absolutely not the solution to saving Twitter. I think it's an interesting feature, and sure. And remember, they're talking about two different types of editing and delete. So one would be like a 5-minute window where, where you made a grammatical error, or you've said something you didn't mean to, and you quickly have a window to change that. And there's going to be a longer editing period where if you go back, let's say a day later to change something, it'll show the history of what's been edited. So Twitter's not losing its sort of instant, right, being able, real-timeness, if you will.
Now, you could do it on other social networks already, which kind of brings up the larger kind of business question in all of this. Snapchat, like the company that owns and controls Snapchat, is now called Snap, but it is going to be, it looks like, one of the more highly anticipated IPOs next year. It's going to go public, and they are comparing themselves not to Twitter. They're not saying we're going to be the next Twitter. They're saying we're going to be the next Facebook. So you look at these businesses, which ones make the most sense? I mean, obviously Facebook does, but is Snapchat more like that, or is it going to have the problems that Twitter has, which is making money when they're advertising?
Yeah, no, see, I think Snapchat's already making money. Twitter has never been able to really figure out that business model for themselves. And Snapchat cracked that code. I mean, they've done a great job integrating advertising natively, right, into the app itself. And Twitter's never really managed to figure out how to do that. So, yeah, I think Snapchat is going to continue to be huge. From our clients' perspective, we still tell our clients, look, Twitter's great. I mean, where the audience is, all you have to do is look at the presidential election to see, the role Twitter played. So Twitter is not going away by any means, but in terms of as a business, they certainly have a lot of work to do, and hopefully they'll bring on some new leadership that'll help them make those changes. Oh,
okay, yeah. Maybe it's time for some of the old guard and the Jack Dorseys of the world to bring somebody new in. That's an interesting take on it. You might be right about that. I wonder what they would do, though, those new people coming in. What type of changes could they make that makes Twitter a viable business in terms of, having ads that you'll actually look at, that you'll click on, which I would think would be the way you eventually make more money, right? I mean, what can they do differently?
Yeah, there's a lot of ways they can integrate, right, advertising a little more natively, contextually into the platform, like Snapchat's doing, like Instagram is doing. With Twitter, they do want to be careful, though, because, Twitter is a different type of social network, so you can't force sort of those ads like Facebook can sometimes on Twitter. So they're really going to have to be creative about how they integrate that.
Yeah, because right now it's a bunch of, there's more to it. There's quote-unquote normal people on there, too. There's a lot of, the reason it gets a lot of attention, by the way, we should point out, it's all reporters. So when the president-elect or somebody tweets, all the reporters are on Twitter. They're all picking it up. And half the time I think that, you might have how many thousands of followers you have. I bet you half of them are bots, or they could be fake. That's an issue, too, for Twitter, is how many real people are using it day to day and really interacting with it.
True. So Twitter's always had this challenge of getting more users and retaining those users, right? In terms of a lot of people try Twitter, they can't really figure out how to make sense of it. But let's face it, Twitter's been faster than the API for many years now. When you think real-time sort of news or where people become the media, Twitter's still the go-to platform for that.
It's still the first thing, I got to say, when I wake up in the morning, the first thing I do, pretty much, is you look at your phone and you look at your Twitter feed. It's not the other, you're not looking at Facebook. You might for fun or for social reasons, but you're looking at Twitter. So it has a usefulness. They just have to figure it out, and maybe this will be the year. But anyway, Happy New Year to you, and we appreciate you coming on with us.
Happy New Year.